Hi, welcome back. We're now going to continue with our claim administration or claim management, as we also like to call it. This is where I will be able to see all the claims that we have submitted to the medical aid in a certain time frame. You can call this up for yesterday, for instance, or last week, or for last month, or for all the claims that has happened up till today. It's very important that you know how to look at your claims. Even if the doctor is doing the billing himself and he's submitting the claims, someone must follow up all the rejections. Someone must follow up to see if the claims are reaching the medical aid. There should not be any excuse for a stale claim. This is the tool that you use to follow up, make sure that the claims have the right statuses, all rejections has been sorted, all to be submitted claims has been submitted, and there's no error claims currently on the system. Of course, this is a training system that we're giving this training on. I do not have live claims that I can show you, so I'm just going to explain and guide you through the process and show you a few pictures from our training manual where you will be able to see the actual screenshots and how these claims will look like. Remember, the process begins with the invoice. So let me just recap again what we've done before. If you go to your manual, remember now we went through the appointments and we've done the diary administration. We looked through the clinical information of all the forms and sick notes and scripts that you can do. We've looked at the billing, and especially make sure you understand the macros. It's a very handy tool to make your billing quick and fast. Once you go through, set up your macros, it should enable you to do your billing very quickly. Remember also you can link codes to the type, also generating it sort of a macro to make your billing quicker and faster depending on the type of appointment you've loaded. Remember then to go into the invoice screen, check the doctor, check the service centers, and make sure all that information is correct before you go on with the loading of your codes. Put in your ICD-10 codes. Remember, you can search on the text, load your coding, click on the pluses and minuses to make sure that the codes are added and deleted as necessary, and then tick on the private invoice if it must all be private. If you are a bureau or something and the doctor wants you to change the rates, please look at your price list and tariff rates to enable 300% and 250% and 150% depending also. And remember, the service center will trigger the in-hospital rates if you choose hospital. And also you can view your previous billing from here as well. Then once you've done the posting, and remember when you click on posting, this is a medical aid claim, it should ask you post await response, and immediately the pop-up should come in from the medical aid. And it will either be processed or rejected. If it's rejected, when you get back to the diary, then everything will be on the patient side, or there will be a amount on the patient side. So confirm that information, and if you want to call up that response from the diary again, you must click on account details, click on the invoice, and then you click on switch action. This will call up the response again at any specific time. This current one, this invoice is not being submitted. It will change to green, a lot of lines here with the actual coding, or to show you its process, or some of the lines will be orange or red to see if it's rejected. That's what we call the item level rejection. Or all the lines will be red. Everything will be red on the screen telling you that the whole claim was rejected because of membership numbers, date of births, dependent codes, or some other possible reasons. This you will see when you post, or at any time when you go into this account again, or any account after posting took place. You click on the invoice and you click on switch action to call up the response. Please remember the switch action to see your response from the medical aid if the patient asks you this while they're standing at reception or still in the practice. So how and where do I go to view all my claims that has taken place? Now this should be whoever is responsible for making sure that the claims are getting to the medical aid and gets paid. To do this, you go to admin. Here at the top where I have my diary, debtors, reports, task, I have admin. The moment I click on admin, it opens up a lot of options here, and I go to the one that says switch history. On this switch history screen, I will see all the claims up till to date. I haven't used any filters yet, so I will see everything up till right now. And here you can see the billing I've just done now, and it says flag for submission. Of course, this is not a live site. I cannot submit this to the medical aid, so immediately it will just say flag for submission. What is important here is to make sure that you understand the screen and what you can do here. Filter between dates. This is where I can see service date or date posted or date submitted. When did I submit the claim to medical aid? Normal practice will work on service date, and bureaus might like to work on date posted. Then you have your date from and to, so select the dates correctly for that, and then I can filter on specific medical aids like discovery or gems or whatever I need, and then I have a show result button. I will explain it, and you will click on search to filter the items. But here is the statuses that you will get depending on how the claim, the medical aid reacted on your claim that you've submitted. The flag for submission is the ones you've seen now on my screen as well. Now the flags of submission means this claim will not go through to the medical aid. You still must submit it. To do this, you will see here at the bottom right corner, switch all. This will enable you to switch all these claims that says flag for submission. So this is one of the checks you must check when you open up the screen every day. Are there any flag for submission claims? Yes, select them, switch them. Then the next thing I check for is my errors failed. Please confirm there is no error/failed claim. That means this claim is still in GoodX, it's going nowhere. You must select that claim, go into the account and resubmit it. You cannot leave an error failed. It means the medical aid will never receive it. There was a technical error in GoodX between the medical aids, and we need to get it resolved as quickly as possible. So you first look at your errors, you look at your flag for submissions, and then you start looking at your switch rejections and medical aid rejections. Then you follow them up as quickly as possible, because these claims are rejected for a reason. Switch rejection will be typically because of the dependent codes and date of birth and membership numbers, so it was switched to the switch and it was rejected there first before it even went to the medical aids. And a medical aid rejection will mean that a medical aid actually did receive your claim and they are rejecting it for whatever possible reason. So those are the ones you need to sort out first. So call them up, filter them out, and sort them out as quickly as possible. And then I end up usually with my item level rejections that you need to give attention to, because that's the claims where the medical aid pays only certain codes within your claim, like the needles, the syringes, the web gauze, the gloves, nappy items, or something that was rejected partial of the claim. So they accept other codes and they will pay the other codes, but some of the codes they reject for whatever reason. This could also be no funds. And a medical aid rejection can also be no funds. And I'm looking for the no funds as well, so I can make sure that the patient gets the statement as quickly as possible. So how did I get to the screen again? Please make sure you get to this every day. You go to your admin here at the top. Once you click on admin, you go to switch history and you start with flag for submissions and errors. Call them up, sort them out. The flag for submission, you just simply say switch all, and the others you must select on it, go into the account details, and then just simply edit the invoice and switch it again. If you can't click on the switch button, it means you must first reverse and then switch. It's very important. Any claim went through the medical aid, if you cannot click on the switch option after you edit the invoice, you must always reverse first. And this is where I get back to the 4 R's, as we call it: double R, reverse, redo, resubmit, resolve. I cannot resubmit the claim, I cannot resolve the claim, I cannot redo the claim if I do not reverse first. You start with the reversal, then I can redo, or then I can resubmit, and at the end of the whole process, I resolve my claim. The resolved claim means that everything has been done, the claim went through to the medical aid, and depending on how you work, it can also indicate whether the claim was actually also paid. Just depends on how you're going to manage that process. But you cannot start any correction process in the claims if you haven't reversed the claim first, if the claim was submitted. How do I reverse a claim? And that's why it's so nice working from the screen, because from this switch history screen, I can click on a claim, and immediately at the bottom I can view the response to see what the medical aid tells me about this response, if it's a real-time medical aid. And then I can go immediately into data edit and import and validate this file by fixing any of that issues, like a dependent code, date of birth, the spelling of the name and the surname, and fix that by using the import function. That's why I said to you in the beginning, the receptionist should always import new patients. So by the time I get to this claim history management, there shouldn't be any claims that says rejection because of that demographic information. If I get rejections because of a dependent code invalid, it tells me the reception did not import or validate that file. Now I need to fix it here, whoever the person is doing this. So then you have to click on this claim, go into data edit and do the import functions to fix that scenario. Then I can go back into the account details, click on the invoice, click on edit invoice, and then resubmit that claim. View edit invoice on the actions option. Once I click on the view edit action option, then I can reverse the claim and redo or switch it again depending on what needs to happen. So now I understand I need to reverse a claim before I can fix it at any stage. So when do I use the resubmit and when do I use the redo? The resubmission or the switch button here next to the redo, that's for when the medical aid did not receive my claim, or I will switch it again when there's a problem with the dependent code, database or membership numbers. And I want just to submit the claim again to the medical aid. It means the codes, the amounts are exactly the same. Nothing changed in the billing. That's when I will resubmit or switch the claim again to the medical aid. To start the process, you select the claim. Whatever is wrong with that claim, I will go to account details, select the invoice, click on view edit invoice, first click on reverse, and then just simply switch it. Depending on what was the mistake, I had to first go and fix that first. For instance, import again and validate the patient, then go to the account and submit the claim. But remember, first reverse. And anyway, you can't click on submit until you click on reverse. Redo, that's when your billing was a mistake. So the moment there is a problem with the billing and some of the codes are wrong that you have submitted to the medical aid, and the medical aid is either rejecting it because of the coding, the ICD-10 codes or something like that, or some of your codes are being rejected in an item level rejection because you build an 0109 and not an 0190, or something male, female or adult child depending on the coding. You need to redo and send in a new claim to the medical aid, but because the medical aid received your claim already, you must reverse it obviously first. So that's why you go again to my switch history, click on the claim that says medical aid rejection or item level rejection, review a response, check to see what is the problem, then you go into account details, select the invoice, and then view edit that invoice. And then you would reverse first and then click on redo. In that sense, you're now cancelling the first claim. The reverse option will also send in an electronic reversal to the medical aid, asking them to cancel the claim. And then you build a new code with the redo option and send in a new claim to the medical aid. If it's immediately rejected because of duplicate, it tells you that that medical aid is not receiving your electronic reversal. Pick up the phone and ask the medical aid to reverse it, or ask them how you're going to resubmit this claim for them. Then in certain disciplines and scenarios, paper claims might become an option. So if you do get rejections after you do the reversal and you submitted a new claim to the medical aid, it says duplicate, then it tells you there is a problem with the reversal. That medical aid is not accepting it or whatever the possible reason might be. So let's quickly just see if I can show you how those screens will look like. Here you can see admin. You select, here's for instance a response, and that sense flag for submission. You click on it, account details. Here we show you exactly what I've explained to you. There's your view response account details. So on the manual you will see this. Reverse first, and then it will ask you to redo. So let me just show you an example of a claim that was processed. I just want to see if I can actually show that to you. There we go. So here is a process claim, for instance. It will all be green. So it will show you if there's any warnings. It will show you throughout your code that has been loaded and whether it's processed and all is successful, and you will specifically look at that process claim. And there I could be able, there in the middle it says switch status, I can see it is processed. A paper claim from the system, if you get to that point where you now need to submit a claim with a paper claim, just want to get to my system again to show you that option. Close. So if it comes to the point where you cannot electronically submit the claim anymore and you phone the medical aid and they ask you to submit a paper claim in that sense, you can now, and the only way to do that is by generating now the statement. You can immediately mail it from out of the GoodX system, or you can save it as a PDF on your computer and attach it into your Outlook. So the best way to do that just depends on where you are. If I'm standing under diary, I can just go here to download statement. That will generate a PDF directly on your computer, and from here out of your PDF, because it's a PDF, you should be able to have the option to attach it by in your email. So just see where it is saved under your downloads folder. Here at the top I can see that, and now you can attach that PDF in your Outlook. That's one way of sending your claim to the medical aid via a PDF statement. The other way through GoodX, the easy way in that sense, is when I look here at download statement, next to it's a little arrow. When I click on that arrow, there's an email statement. So the moment I click on that, it will generate a PDF, and the to address, that's typically the patient or member, you can change now to the actual medical aid, and you can put in here, we can load email for the medical aid's template, and it will put in here your patient's details, his membership number in the subject and into the body of the email, and you can just press on the send button and it will email the statement with all the info for the medical aid. So that I can do directly by clicking here, selecting the booking on the diary, on the panel on the right hand side, click on that button and say email statement. Or if I'm in the account, so when you go to account details, the same thing, there is email statement. So the moment I do click on that email statement, it will generate a PDF and you fill in your medical aid information. By setting a nice template here in the future, you can import now the patient's name, surname, even their medical aid membership, the medical aid membership number, depending on anything you want for the medical aid into the subject and header and the body, and it will attach it and send the email directly out of GoodX. Please make sure from your SCL that there's any more information required to set this up correctly, so that you always have the option to send in a paper claim. If you're working from that admin screen, switch history, and when I select that member, you just simply go into account details, and then to the right side you just click on email statement. That's a quick way of doing your paper claims. So from so please make sure that you understand all your statuses. There is other status, manual reverse, flags for reversal, but that is depending on what is happening. There is a manual that will explain this a bit more in detail. The ones you need to focus on from an admin point of view is sort out your errors and flags first, get them out of the system to the medical aid as quickly as possible. Then you focus on your switch rejections and medical aid rejections. Call up the response here at the top, bottom corner, in the bottom middle, view response, call up the response, see why the medicals are rejecting this, and then react to it. Either go to data edit, do new imports and validation, fix the patient's information, go back into the account, select the invoice, click on view edit invoice, reverse, and then just resubmit. If it's rejections because of your coding, then you will go into the account, click on the invoice, edit the invoice, and then just simply click on reverse and then on redo. put in your text, the invoice will pop up, fix the coding and submit a new claim to the medical aid. If you do this every day, you should be up to date with all your claims on a regular basis. Every day, every second day, and the moment you feel that this claim has been paid or you're happy with whatever you've done on this claim, now I can go and mark this as resolved. You change the red X to a green right tick. And that you do when either the account is settled, if you want to take it up to that level, or you do this when you feel you have managed your claim correctly and you will wait for payment later. It just depends on how you want to work. It's a nice way to do this. The screen can assist for both. If you are a single admin person that must manage this, it's maybe a nice way to mark this when it was paid. Your decision on how you want to use this. It's a very nice tool for you. One place I can do everything. I can call up my responses, do my validation imports, go into the account to see what has happened. If there's rejections, I can immediately go into the account, edit the invoice, reverse it, resubmit it, or go to the invoice, edit it, and do a redo, all from this one screen. Once you're done at the end of the day with this, then I close and you just go on with your normal day-to-day work. If there's any questions, this is a very important subject, just quickly ask us on the live chat. We are going to take now the next break. Because the next section is now receipting and receipt corrections that we usually start at 2, but just give us about 5 minutes so we can start then at 2:05 on this section. Thank you very much and talk later.